I just wanted to thank Birch Mattresses for sponsoring this video, and I also wanted to just let you guys know that Birch is launching their Black Friday sale, and that is going to be 25% off of your mattress purchase. Just go to their website to check out the Black Friday deals they're having. Also, something really cool is that their Birch Natural mattress was just awarded Best Mattress of 2023 by US News out of over 340 mattresses and hours of in-person testing. So that's pretty great. We aren't the only ones that love our Birch mattress. Birch Living's mattresses are crafted with organic and natural materials that have been sustainably sourced. Their mattresses are free from polyurethane foams, which can cause harmful off-gassing, and are also free from fiberglass, which can be harmful to your health. I first became aware of this whenever I had premature twins coming home from the hospital with fragile lungs, and I started researching organic mattresses. Since then, I've been enjoying Birch Living mattresses, and I hope you will too. I know that as I've talked about them on my channel, many of you have bought mattresses and thanked me for mentioning them on the channel. It is really important to me that my mattresses, car seats, and pajamas are not covered in toxic flame retardants. However, don't worry, Birch mattress uses wool, which is a natural flame retardant. And unlike synthetic mattresses, the wool in these mattresses makes it hypoallergenic, both allergen and mildew resistant. Don't forget that with your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 25-year warranty. We have definitely reached and surpassed our 100-night sleep trial, and in that time, we could have returned the mattress if we were unhappy with it. And the best part about Birch is that they deliver your mattress right to your door for free within the United States. They also offer in-home setup and removal to make your buying experience as convenient as possible. I love our Birch mattress, and I think you will too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Birch Living. They are actually running their Black Friday sale right now, 25% off, and you're also gonna receive 2 free Eco Rest pillows with your order. Visit birchliving.com/breefromscratch to find out more about this really awesome Black Friday deal that they're having. Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen again. This is Bree. Today I'm gonna share with you a very large grocery haul. So typically my grocery hauls aren't this big, even though I do have 7 children. They're usually much smaller. But I'm gonna explain what this one is and why it's so big, and then show you every item that I purchased. As I go through and show you each item, I'm gonna explain to you what I'm gonna do with it. This grocery haul is actually 3 grocery shopping trips for me, even though it all came from ALDI. So it is my weekly grocery shopping, it is my monthly grocery shopping, it is also my pantry and freezer rebuilds. So I'm rebuilding my working pantry and refilling my freezers, and I'm doing it just a little bit at a time. It is a slow process, but this will give you a peek into how I do that, and maybe even encourage you that you don't have to buy a whole cow or have a farm to fill your freezers, and you don't always have to buy bulk to fill your pantry either, because I use a mixture of everything to fill my pantry and to fill my freezers, and this is just one of the ways I do that. In the past, I have shared my Azure Standard haul, and that haul showed you my bulk food buying for things like oats and rice and sugar and things like that. But this is for pantry staples as far as like snacks, or to refill my freezer with meat, because I don't have a working farm anymore, so I'm always having to figure out how to purchase meat without growing it. It's been quite an education for me, because it has been many years since I've had to do that. First, let's start with the pantry items. These are things that I'm buying a little bit of at a time to refill my working pantry. What I mean by working pantry is it's food that I won't eat up all this month. I want really to have a whole year's supply of. A little bit at a time, I'm doing that. But what it means by working is that I actually use that food up. I actually eat that food, or we actually eat that food. We aren't doing long-term storage. We aren't trying to store it for up to 20 years, you know, in case of big emergencies. I'm trying to keep enough food on hand for a whole year. And what that does is, yes, that does give you a cushion in case of an emergency, but it also, over time, once you get the hang of it and the rhythm of it, it saves you a lot of money. There is an initial investment, or you can do little investments over time, which is what I'm doing. But in the end, this always saves me money. Basically, we will be eating these foods within the year. All of these are things I probably could have canned myself, but I prefer not to right now in my life. So I got 6 cans of Yellow Cling 100% fruit juice peaches. I really like these for making peach cobbler. That's one of our favorite things. Okay, and here I have some organic diced tomatoes. I got 5 cans because that's what I could afford in this haul. Now, is 5 cans enough for a whole year? No, but I will probably only use 2 cans this month. So I doubled that and added 1 more, and I got 5 cans. And I'll just keep doing that as I can afford it over time. And soon enough, I will have a year's worth. I really don't need that many of diced tomatoes or of sliced peaches. But this is how I do it. When I have the extra funds, and I know I'm going to, I go ahead and add on a few extra things to my grocery budget. This is just sparkling water. I buy this as a treat for myself because it makes me feel like I'm getting a treat even though it's just sparkling water. Organic spaghetti sauce. I actually, on my list this month, wanted to buy 20 of these from ALDI, but they were out. They only had 5, so we'll have to add that to hopefully next month's list. I also bought 4 chicken tikka masalas. This is something I like to keep in my pantry because it makes a super simple meal on a really busy night. I can make tikka masala from scratch, but it takes a lot longer. So I keep these around because this is a really good tikka masala sauce. Our whole family likes it, and it makes a simple meal. Canned jalapeno peppers. So I will say that the tikka masala is my working pantry, and these couple of things are not. So this is my monthly haul, is these olives, these jalapenos, this salsa. Salsa will start getting added soon to the working pantry haul. And then these Kalamata olives. So this is just something that we will eat over the next month are those things. They won't last longer than the month. Now these are going into my working pantry, so these will last longer than the month. Blueberry jam, strawberry jam, and raspberry jam. Every month I just go ahead and buy 1 of each of these, and I won't do that forever. I'm just doing it for now as I'm trying to rebuild my pantry. So once I have probably 10 of each one, I'll stop doing that, and I will just kind of refill here and there throughout the year. But for right now, because these are only like $2.50, I buy 1 per month of each one because I'm just trying to rebuild my working pantry, and that jam goes into that pantry. This is both the working pantry and the month, so we won't use a whole bottle of olive oil in a month, but we'll probably use a whole bottle of avocado oil. So this goes into both my working pantry and my monthly groceries. This is kind of like I just buy it whenever we need it, and I will start building it up in my working pantry, but we just needed some balsamic. This is also just part of my regular monthly grocery haul, though really I only buy that every couple months. And same with the lemon juice. Peanut butter also, this is just something I buy regularly. I don't try to keep peanut butter in a working pantry that lasts a year because the oils go rancid. So I try to buy this pretty regularly. And then also this is just for this month. Now I would like to say the olive oil, the avocado oil, the cider vinegar, the ketchup, all these things, they are things I would like to eventually have a year's supply of. But I pick and choose every month what I'm gonna start building up. And right now, that is some canned goods and some meats and a few other things like the jam. But over time, I'll get to those things as well. I can't, like you, it's not financially practical for me to try to build up a working pantry of every single item every single month. But I know that if I do a little bit each grocery shopping trip, then it will eventually add up, and over the next year or so, it's gonna take a while, I will have built my pantry back up, which is a really nice feeling. Now this is something I'm working on building up. I do like buying the pasta from Azure Standard, but the price for now is better at ALDI. So I got 4 boxes of spaghetti and 2 boxes of linguine, and that's adding on to what I've already purchased and already am building up as stocks in my pantry. Okay, so those are kind of like some pantry staples and basics. I separate those in my mind from like snacks and cereal and bread, even though those go in my pantry as well. just because these are the kind of things that are really basics. You need them to make quite a few different meals. They're flexible in their uses. You know, sometimes they're ingredients. Like I consider olives an ingredient, jam kind of an ingredient, you know, peaches, diced tomatoes, ingredients. I consider that different than these other pantry items. This stuff I consider like convenience food. It's stuff that I buy to just make my life easier mostly. You know, whether that's quick snacks to take with us to our homeschool co-op, or, you know, if we have a lot going on in a day, this just makes it easier for me to grab some snacks and get out the door with the kids, rather than having to home make them from scratch and all of that. I do give myself a lot of grace in that area, just because I don't really want to feel overwhelmed by food in my life. And so I give myself options. So I can make a lot of things from scratch, but I also like having the option of not making it from scratch. And so these are like kind of the regular things we buy. This is actually kind of a new thing. I don't know that we are super into it, but we're trying it. Graham crackers, we always get these granola bars, which are full of sugar and chocolate chips, but they are a good quick snack. And we buy these little cheddar puffs. I think, you know, there's a brand called Pirate Booty, but this is way more affordable and way cheaper, and it's basically the same thing. And then I bought some fig bars, and then I keep some nuts around. We don't eat a ton of nuts, but I do like having them around. And then I also keep some cereals on hand. We don't eat these every day, but the morning before our homeschool co-op we do, because we have to be there really early. And so we just usually quickly eat some cereals. And then I occasionally buy bagels because the kids like to have bagels as an alternative to the cereals. And then here is our kind of weekly bread haul. I do make a lot of bread products, but I also don't make a lot of bread products. So I keep the sourdough on hand. I like to have that for one meal during the week, whether it's soup or a roast or a chicken or something like that. We eat a lot of tacos and quesadillas in this house, so tortillas. And I actually want to have a baking day really soon and just make a ton of tortillas, because these are convenient, but there's so much junk in them that I almost can't stand buying them. So making tortillas is super simple. So I'm definitely going to add this to my list of things to make on baking day soon. And then just some junk bread for easy sandwiches at co-op. And then we really like these chips from ALDI. They're just like a simple organic tortilla chip. My kids love these, and they just think I'm the best mom in the world when I buy them, so I occasionally get them as a surprise. And then we keep this on hand. We make most of our popcorn ourselves, but occasionally we're running out the door. I don't want them to have a bunch of sugar, so I just grab this popcorn. And that makes a really simple snack when I don't have time to make popcorn. So like I said, a lot of this stuff I buy as a convenience. These are convenience foods. And that's the point of them, is they make my life a lot easier. Now, I know in our age that we live in our culture we live in, a lot of times, you know, you feel like you have to justify what you feed your family or what you buy from the store. And if you're not making it from scratch, or if it's not completely whole foods or organic. For my home, I do the 80-20 rule. And I feel like it's a blessing that I can do that. You know, 80% whole foods, 20% convenience foods. And I know it's a blessing I can do that, because I have friends that literally can't buy convenience foods. They cannot eat them. And they literally have to make every snack, every meal from scratch. And in many ways that's a blessing, but in many ways that can also be so overwhelming and exhausting for the person doing all of that cooking. And of course, you know, mothers will do anything for their children, and so they do it. But I know that those mothers, at the same time that they're blessed to be able to do that, would long to just grab some easy things sometimes. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is don't, the kids are here while I'm filming this. What I'm trying to say is, like, don't assign your worth or your morality to what you buy at the grocery store. Like, God certainly does not value us more or less because we do or don't buy Cheerios. I definitely am someone that prefers to buy organic for my children, but I cannot always afford that. And I've had to make peace with that because it can be scary, but I've just had to make peace with it. So when I can buy organic, I do. When I can make from scratch, I do. And when I can't, I just say, you know what, it's okay. It's gonna be fine, because it really will. All right, let's look at the produce I bought for this week. I got some pears. Those will get eaten very quickly in my home. These are the baby's favorites, and these are great for snacks. We grab these anytime we go anywhere. Bananas, of course, that's a total staple in our house and probably yours. I like to keep limes around. We like to make limeade. We like to put them on tacos. We like to put this on Indian food, Thai food, and we eat a lot of Indian food, Thai food, and tacos, so we keep limes around. I don't always buy a big bag of navel oranges, but we hadn't had them in a while, and I know that when we haven't had something in a while, they get eaten up really quick, so I knew it would be okay to buy a whole big bag of those. We keep celery around. It's just perfect for soups, you know, roasts. The kids love celeries for dipping in like a sour cream dip that I like to make, or putting peanut butter on it, so we just keep these around for good snacks. I was craving some fresh berries, and I'm sure these are probably not the most flavorful, but I was just really craving berries. I almost never buy berries in the winter because it's such a disappointment. It's not even worth it, and I have a bunch frozen in my freezer. I was just craving fresh berries. So I think I'm gonna make some of this with some just homemade whipped cream, and we'll have berries and cream for a dessert this week. Or maybe I'll just like throw some in yogurt for me. I did buy some lettuces, which typically I don't have to this time of year, but the deer have really destroyed my garden. So I'm hoping some of it will grow back, even though it probably won't because there's not enough daylight, but I decided to go ahead and just buy some, even though it about killed me, because I just really like some fresh greens in my diet. I got 2 bags of carrots. We are gonna have, once again, I have frozen green beans, but I was craving some like fresh sauteed green beans this week. So we're gonna have that with dinner this week. We keep cilantro around. We keep green onions around for tacos and for Indian food and Thai food. They all are really, all 3 of those kinds of foods are really good with green onion and cilantro. We always keep lots of cucumbers around because my kids go crazy eating them. And then I tried to get some sugar snap peas, but honestly they look terrible. So I'm probably just gonna return them. But I was hoping we could get one last round of sugar snap peas. But nope, these are no good. Once again though, those are just for snacks. One thing I do is a few times a week, I make a big snack board with lots of different fruits and veggies on it and some dip. And the kids just eat that for lunch along with like maybe some crackers or a quesadilla or a sandwich or something. We really like fresh, raw fruits and veggies around here, and that's the way that we eat them most of the time. It's just making a big snack board with all of that on there. The peppers are for the snack board, but we also eat these. We make something called sausage and peppers a lot, but we're actually not having that this week. So this is just for fresh eating. That is what I got as far as fresh produce for this week. Okay, moving along to refrigerator items, and then just remember, I'm gonna distinguish for you between what I kind of buy weekly, what I buy that will last us a month, and then what is going to my more, not long-term storage, but like my working freezers, my working pantries that we will eat out of over the next year. And I'm rebuilding that right now. So that's why some of these things you see me buying quite a bit of. So I actually went into ALDI today to buy 20 pounds of butter to keep working on filling up my freezer with butter. I would like to have 100 pounds in the freezer at a time, but they literally only had 4 pounds. So I bought what they had. I got a little thing of sour cream because that is something that we eat on a lot of things. We make a veggie dip with it. You know, we put it on our tacos and things like that. So that is actually just kind of a weekly buy. Maybe not every week, but we're definitely out right now. And also, most of this produce is a weekly buy as well. Some of it will go 2 weeks. So all of this cheese is going to be a monthly purchase. This isn't going to be weekly. So I like to buy some shredded cheese just for convenience for different dishes, whether that's quesadillas or broccoli soup, or just various things that we eat that with. I bought this shredded Parmesan. I like to make fettuccine Alfredo usually about once a month or so, because it's just a really easy meal and everybody likes it. And then I also put this in my salads. This is something that I keep on hand for myself, and honestly it probably lasts me more than a month. This is just something I buy. I like Gouda cheese, and I actually have a really hard time eating enough in a day, and so I keep these around to grab one when I'm hungry. I bought this as a surprise for the kids because they love orange juice and I never buy it. We'll have like a special breakfast and drink this with it. These are for kids' lunches, so this is probably a weekly buy. I maybe only buy this once every 2 weeks or once a month. I know I don't have to buy it every single week because they get bored of it if I put it in their lunch every week at Co-op. But yeah, so that gets bought once or twice a month. This is definitely a monthly buy and not even every month, just when I get bagels. And then we have our monthly cheese. So I get 2 sharp cheddars and a pepper jack, and this is what we make our sandwiches with. Okay, so that is all the dairy I bought this week. I know it's kind of weird that there's not milk and half in my dairy haul, but I just had plenty, so I didn't have to buy any at this grocery time, and I couldn't fit more in my fridge, or I would have just gone ahead and gotten it because I know we'll drink it. But typically I get about 3 gallons of milk and a half gallon of half and half a week. This is another little thing I buy, and I know this is probably horrifically bad for you, but I buy this because I have a really hard time eating, especially in the morning, and then I just fall apart and just get hangry by like 11 o'clock. So I find if I have something like this to just get me started on my day, I feel 1,000 times better. And yeah, so it's just beef stick and cheese. You could make your own and probably save a lot of money, but these only cost a couple dollars, so I just don't worry about it. This is another snack I buy for myself every single week if I can. They're kind of expensive, but I do that because I find I just drink coffee for half the day and then I feel like crap. So if I'll eat something, I usually won't even need the coffee because I'll have enough energy because I ate. So that's just something I like to get myself. I share these. Everyone in the family likes them, but they're so expensive, but I do share these sometimes. This is something I put in the freezer. I probably buy this once a month. It may not be quite that often. We do take 2 bags to feed our family, but it's just this cheese ravioli. This is a really fast, simple meal I can make for my kids. Make a quick salad or make a quick veggie on the side, and there you have it. You've got dinner. This is not something I really stock up on just because it's a convenience thing. I know a lot of people that stock their pantries with convenience items like for a whole year, and I don't really do that. I do try to get like a month's worth so that I'm not always going to the store. I would much rather refill things that are more like ingredients than convenience items. So a lot of the ingredients are convenience items. Like, you know, canned beans and canned tomatoes and canned tomato sauce. Those are convenience items, but they definitely are more whole food. They're definitely more flexible in what you can use them in, you know, because they're more like ingredients than say frozen pasta. Sorry. Or like cereal. But if you do want to create like a lot more long-term working pantry with those items, do that. It's just not where I put a lot of my energy and my finances. I put it more into like meat and oats and rice and canned and jarred items and things like that. Okay, so next I'm gonna show you what I bought as far as meat, why I bought it, how I'm making this work for my family. So what I will do is I will buy 2 chickens. One will be for more long-term storage. One will be for use this week. And yeah, so I just keep doing that until I have a good store of chicken. The other thing I will do though is if I find, now something I do that actually fills up my freezer a lot faster than this method is my regular big local grocery store has organic chicken on sale all the time. And when it does, I buy as many as I can afford. And that actually fills my freezer up with chicken much faster than buying 2 from ALDI. But I haven't bought any in a while. It's probably been 6 months or so. And so right now this is the method that I'm doing. I buy 1 I freeze one. We eat one, I freeze one, that kind of thing. And that takes a long time to build up enough chicken. But it just means that I always have chicken in the freezer and I don't have to worry about whether or not I have it. Even if I don't have a year's worth or 6 months worth or 4 months worth, I have at least one whole chicken. We are completely out of our homegrown beef, and so I have started stocking up on just ground beef, mainly because it's so versatile. Obviously, I would love to buy some roasts and steaks and things like that, but it's just not versatile enough. So until we can butcher one of our cows that we have out at our farm, I am only gonna buy ground beef, and we will just really rejoice when we have roasts and steak again. I might buy a roast for a special occasion, but I'm not stocking up on beef, except ground. And so I buy 10 at a time, and we use only maybe one, let me see, we probably use 2 to 4 per week. And yeah, once again, I definitely will not have like a year's worth of meat in my freezer doing it this way, but this way I always have meat in my freezer. So I don't have to worry about it. It's always there, which means I can usually always make a meal out of what I have just in my home. I don't have to go to the store looking for extra ingredients because I'll usually always have meat, ingredients, and veggies. And if you have those things, you can make a meal. You know, it may not be the exact meal that you want to eat right then, but it will be something that fills bellies and satisfies everyone and will be healthy. So that is really one of my main goals with keeping my pantry filled and my freezers filled, is that I never have to go to the grocery store. And that doesn't mean never again. It means if I've had a really hard week, or I'm low on finances, or I've been super busy, I don't have to worry about, oh no, I didn't make it to the grocery this week, or I need to run out and get some things right now. I never have to do that because I always keep at least enough in my home for a few weeks, at least a month. So even though I'm not back up to the point of having a year's worth of things, I am up to the point where I at least have a month of stuff. And you can quickly get to that point where you always at least have a month of food around, so that you don't have to ever go to the grocery store. Unless you're just out of something like milk. But you can make a lot of stuff in this world that does not include dairy or milk. Another thing we are out of and have been for some time is pork. I don't know when we'll ever get to buy a half a pig or a whole pig or raise our own again. So when I can, I buy 10 packs of bacon at a time from ALDI. It's not the best quality, but it's not the worst either. So I'm pleased with that. And I just, you know, if I can't afford 10, I'll buy 4 or I'll buy 2. I just buy what I can. This month I could buy 10, so I went ahead and did that. And once again, this isn't a year's worth of bacon, but it's months worth of bacon. And if I have months worth of bacon, then it's something I don't have to worry about. And if there's a month or two where I can't afford bacon, I've got some in the freezer. Once again, this is a more working pantry long-term storage thing, and it is something that I buy monthly, not weekly. And sometimes maybe it's only 2 packs, sometimes it's 10 packs, and that just keeps it filling up my freezer a little bit at a time. Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna show you is this sandwich meat. This is something that I pretty much buy seasonally, just when we're really busy or when we have a lot of extracurricular stuff going on or homeschool co-ops or whatever. And that season is almost over for the winter because all that stuff is ending in a couple weeks. So this is something I buy about every 2 weeks. It just depends on who all wants ham sandwiches. Some people like peanut butter, whatever. But I get 2 packs. That will feed us for like 1 lunch. And so that's pretty much a weekly purchase right there. Paper towels. Yes, I buy paper towels. I love paper towels. My life feels hard to me right now. When my life feels hard to me, I buy things that make my life feel easier, so that my kids aren't getting the worst of me, and so that I don't feel run down all the time. Love me some paper towels for that. I love paper towels. I hope that on some level, this kind of shows you and clarifies for you how I purchase groceries. And once again, so like, I'll buy some groceries next week, but it will not look anything like that. It'll be $100 or less of food next week, probably significantly less. Probably actually the only thing I'm gonna need to buy next week is maybe a few fresh items and some milk and half. That's it. That's all I will buy next week at groceries. So that's maybe what, 30 bucks? So that's about all I need to spend next week. The next week will be a little more because we'll be out of some of the snacks. and then so on and so forth. So once again, I have my weekly groceries that I buy, I have my monthly groceries that I buy, and then I have my groceries that I buy to refill my working pantry, and that's a monthly addition to my grocery shopping. Some things that I buy monthly, I don't try to build up in my pantry or in my freezers. I just buy them once a month, and when we're out, and I don't worry about it, such as like snacks and stuff, cereals, things like that. But things that are more ingredients, I'm constantly looking to refill my stores and to increase them as well. Whether that is for emergencies or for convenience. For me, it's really about convenience. And it really does save you money to shop like this over time. I realize that financially, this can be really difficult for people. It can be really difficult to spend even $10, $5, $1 more than what you have to spend on groceries. So that's why I would encourage you that if you have 10 extra dollars, that you would go somewhere like Go Grocery or a grocery, some kind of grocery outlet store where you live. They have all different names. We have 2 or 3 here, and they all have different names. And you're gonna find canned goods there for like 20 and 30 cents instead of $1. Now, most likely these things won't be organic, but if you really wanna start filling a pantry, this is a way you can do it, is you go to like grocery outlets. Another way to do it is to make your meals simpler for a whole month. Literally take the money that you saved, and then the next month you use that money to start refilling and filling up your pantry. So what I mean by making your meals simpler is, I've done this plenty of times when things were really tight financially. Say you make spaghetti, don't put meat in the sauce, don't put bread with it, you know? Just have like spaghetti and salad. Don't even have a salad maybe. Basically, don't make all the sides, don't add all the extras, don't use cheese on things. You know, be really frugal with the things that are the most expensive, like processed things, snacks. Don't eat snacks. That's a huge way to save money. Just eat fruits and veggies as snacks. I've done that for many years to save money on groceries, but when I don't buy processed foods, my grocery bill is drastically reduced. I mean, a huge portion of my grocery bill right now is meat and processed foods. For many years, I didn't buy snacks. And so they ate fruits and veggies and homemade peanut butter balls and things like that for snacks. So that's a huge way to save money at the grocery store. Buy as little processed food and snacks as possible. If you are struggling financially to buy groceries, most likely you are gonna get a tax return. Use your tax return to start building your pantry. Use a portion of your tax return to give yourself a big step up in building your pantry and getting ahead. Because in order to build a pantry, you do have to get a little bit ahead. If you don't get ahead and save a little money, you can't take that savings and put it back into your pantry. So when you get your tax return, take a percentage of that and use that towards filling your pantry. If you have a garden, like literally write down what you save from having a garden and take that money out of your grocery money and use it to fill up a pantry. There are a lot of ways to do this. This isn't just a luxury. This isn't just a privilege. This isn't just those things. A lot of people that you see that are stocking up food and buying big Azure hauls and things like that have saved up for a long time and have worked really hard to narrow down their grocery budget to be able to have, you know, stores of food. It wasn't just that they're rich. That's true of some people, and that's okay. But if you're not rich and you just really, honestly, the answer is to be really meticulous and save and buy little bits at a time instead of big amounts at a time. If you want to watch my Azure Standard haul, I will link that video at the end of this video, and you can see kind of the other aspect of building my working pantry. That was like mostly like dried goods and some frozen things. And this is like stuff I've been getting at the grocery store. Thanks for joining me. I would love to answer any questions you have in the comments below this video. I'll answer as many as I can, and I hope you guys have a great day, and see you real soon.